It is Community Music Monday, and admittedly, it has been a little while. I've been battling some ISP issues. Those seem to now be addressed, thankfully. And it is about time we bit off a big old chunk of album pie. Now, there are 212 albums on this here pie. The bigger they are, the longer they've been there, or the more members of our community have spoken up and said, Walter, you need to listen to this one, and spent their channel points earned from simply watching the stream to increase the odds. The smaller it is, the newer it is, and that pretty well sums it up. I'm going to give this 2 shuffles, 1 and 2. It's been, that's too much green. That feels better. Okay, guys, if you're finding out you won on YouTube a little bit later, congratulations. In the meantime, good luck. Big pie or small pie today? What's it going to be? Big pie or small pie today? Seems like a pretty big pie. Olivia, let's see, which one was that? Fishbulb, go ahead and get some W's in there. I got no idea what this is. This was a top 10. Yeah. Does anybody know? There's context in chat. Okay. Let me see. There is context in the context crew. Wow, it's right there. Okay. It's hard to talk about the Olivia Tremor control without mentioning Elephant 6, the indie psych collective that was helmed by their members as well as members of the Apples in Stereo and Jeff Mangum of Neutral Milk Hotel, their breakout act. Wow. The group wanted to create a new sound in indie rock inspired by psych pop of the 60s, taking direct influences from the Beatles, Beach Boys, and the Zombies at their peak. Oh my gosh. Okay. OTC were one of the more experimental of the group, led by the late Will Cullen Hart and Bill Doss. They mixed psychedelia and avant-garde sound collages, both of which are seen at their peak in their magnum opus, Black Foliage animation music. The record is a loose concept album intended to be backing to scrapped animations. Try to imagine some in your head as the music plays. The album also includes Mangum guest appearing on guitar, as well as recordings of fans describing their dreams, which the band asked to be sent in the liner notes of their last album. That's awesome. Okay. These are things that are sounding like this is right in my alley. Now let me see then. I'm going to actually, I guess, look this up on Tidal here. Let me do a quick copy and search. There's the album right there. Looks like it's come out in 1990. What? Animation 1, Animation 2. Oh, for a moment I thought that there was like actual animations. Okay. Well, I don't even know what this is. I've heard of the people that seem to comprise some of it, but that's about all I got. This came out in 1999. Looks like 27 tracks, totaling an hour and 9 minutes. This is what we're looking at here, Chatterooskies, is a long pie. You do not have to pause during every song here. Oh, okay. Sweet. Hopefully that means I don't have to file a claim for every song there too, but we will see. Guys, this is a music discovery stream, and that was a huge chunk of album pie, a top 10. So, again, W's in the chat for Fishbulb. I got to know, have you heard this album before? Are you familiar, or are you raw dogging a very first listen with me? Guys, I'm going to hit the play button. Before I do, it's very important to me that you know that you are awesome, that you are valuable, that you are important, that you matter, that you are deserving of love, and that I am abundantly grateful for even a moment of your time. If you like what you see, feel free to hit the like and the subscribe button. It goes a long way to help me out. If you really like what you see, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. Or join us on Twitch. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Arizona time. These people over here are the best people. Come hang out with us. Come discover music with us. I know I speak for all of us when I say we would love to have you by. Guys, without further ado, seems like this one is way out of left field, but shockingly so, because again of the lineup in the band. So guys, Olivia Tremor Control, Black Foliage animation music, opening up with opening. Here we go. I came in on the right here. Pause just in case for commentary. Not the opener I thought I was going to get, but the one I got. Not mad. Wow. Can I get somebody to get me a genius for the lyrics, or do I need that? Oh, thank you. Opening link, beautiful. This does sound like acid trippy Beach Boys. Like on the dark side of acid trippy Beach Boys. It's so panned and back and forth.
If I'm going I want to take with me a month of golden Sunday. If we're heading out, should we bring them out? Or should we lose ourselves in me?
If you told me that Jeff Mangum wrote this, I would believe you. I would already believe you. I can already tell an album like this will be a good example of why digital streaming is sadly a downgrade, because of how we don't know how gapless, because we don't have gapless playback. You know, could be. That said, this is, immediately one of those captivating like earworms that I'm kind of already like really shocked that I don't know what this is, like that I didn't know what this is coming into it. It's right in that alley of stuff that I could see myself getting into, perhaps a little bit more avant-garde than a younger Walterooski might have found himself enjoying, but certainly I'm in a place of life now where I could see it.
Should we lose ourselves in me?
A little Beatlesy for sure. The lyrics are definitely abstract to the point that it could be a Mangum song, though. Xylophones, and then they come on in the left right ear. It seems like some of the 90s, the late 90s indie rock that was happening at the time had a very large obsession, or at bare minimum, it was like a contemporary shared sound texture of over-the-top compressed sound. Like when you hear some of these drums, it's like almost to the compressed to the point of it sounding crushed sometimes, which maybe you do to eliminate a lot of the room noise. Drum mic guys could tell you better than I could, because admittedly I'm not the best at tracking drums, but I definitely, when I hear this, it does give me vibes of like In the Aeroplane Over the Sea production. soundscape is nuts, though.
remains the same. We took up residence with a peculiar noise. It's called train direct. There we are. In the blink of an eye, you get several meanings. There we are. In the blink of an eye, you get several meanings.
It does sound in a little bit of so to Tim's point, Tim, I'm gonna translate it. What I assume your meaning is by saying this kind of sounds like if you ran a Beatles album stems through a souped up pedal board and let some grade school kids fool around with it. To me, what that means is take the bones of a Beatles song. Well, you know, all you need is love. We'll say that. You know, so think about that. You just have the dry signal of the guitar sound, like just that guitar part. And then you just imagine that sound wave goes through some pedal board where you have somebody twisting knobs. And it seems like you're capturing both what happens when you have the dry sound of just the guitar playing, but also the crazy madhouse of what happens when you're just twisting the knobs on the guitar pedals that are happening in stereo soundscape. So they're kind of going into your left and right ear as it's happening with its decays. Maybe I'm explaining it and not the way Tim means it, but that's how I'm interpreting it, and I feel good about saying it that way. So I'm going to say that message is from me and not necessarily representing our guy Tim, but that's how I see it. I got my meaning. Bingo bango. Because behind it, you can constantly hear the dun, 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 dun. W's for fishbowl. And there's the horns thing with the avant-garde. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Cardiacs as well, honestly. What a taster ending. I didn't pause for commentary, and I don't care. Favorite song potential on the album right now? Here we go. This album is Oops All Tasters. Is it really? This is an album of just tasters? That just makes me happy. But this immediately hits me with the best song on the album territory. I love this bass line. I'm enjoying the heck out of this one. Getting the horns in there with the beat, with like the 60s California surf rock vibe is such a pearl of a combination. Oh my gosh. The little 12-string walk there. that lyric too.
Don't hide away from all your.
I'm not gonna lie, part of me is wondering if this is kind of like lyrics on the level of a band like maybe Pavement or Neutral Milk, where it's more lyrics in words are more ornamental and meant to invoke emotion more than invoke specific emotion. You know, like it's like a abstract painting that's leading you to the way you feel about it, not the way you think the artist feels about it. And I'm getting the idea, like where you sometimes get these lyrical nuggets that are like when you see something like "Don't hide away from your intricacies," you know, that seems like such a super massive phrase of like good flippin' wisdom nugget, dude, right? But then you end up taking left turn throughout the lyrics, and I think that part of and I think that's like one of the things I've liked most about Malcolmus's writing with Pavement is that you do get that like, what the frig did he just say, and why do I feel understood? There's a little bit of that to this, and I love it. Seawater Sparks, you got hit with the nugget, dude. The amount of sound textures, like I want you to listen to the arpeggiating, and that's just happening in the left ear. And the panning on it is really nice. Okay, Cone, when I say ornamental and evoking emotions, I'm talking about it from the context of like, you ever look at like one of those paintings where it's just a whole bunch of shapes randomly placed on a field, kind of overlapping each other. And, you know, it's just kind of like, to you, maybe a picture, but to somebody else, they might cry because they get overwhelmed at that particular art. Yeah, so the album cover, I think that's doing a great job to articulate that. Some people might be inclined to see that album cover and think like, whoa. And for whatever reason, that combination of colors, that combination of like weird knot shapes, that combination of things hits their friggin' core. And it moves them to tears. And they can't explain to you why, but it's deeply meaningful. I think that's what I mean by abstract but evoke emotion. You know, it's hard to use painting concepts in music sometimes, but it's the closest I can get. Perhaps instrumental better than ornamental is the better word. Maybe it does better to articulate what I mean than, because I don't want ornamental to seem diminutive, because it's certainly not what I mean. I do think I mean ornamental. I don't think the lyrics I don't think we're supposed to be looking for meaning or understanding in the lyrics. I think if you find it there, awesome. But you see what I mean? I love the little electric keyboard there. It is pretty incredible to me how accurate you guys were when describing the bands that were kind of providing the inspiration to it. Hideaway has easily been my favorite one so far. Ooh, Black Foliage Animation 1. I'm gonna need you guys to give me like an instrumental warning, by the way. I love hearing wet sounds. Like it's got so many random like goopy circusy noises. I think it's intending to make you feel like you're walking through a place, right? Like that's maybe like one of those like cartoons when like in the 50s that were like black and white and had like the long goopy kind of you know, arms like that. Like it kind of reminds me of that sort of vibe. Animation music, thank you. Talk about a sound collage, goodness gracious. Definitely brown, oh lordy. Okay.
People.
I don't know what to make of it. Are we going through it? The sky is a harpsichord canvas? What the heck is going? I feel like I just got Willy Wonka'd. You know that scene where Willy is like, hey kids, come on my boat. And then they kind of like, you know, the like, I'm on a boat scene of Willy Wonka. Like that scene. This feels like I just went through that. You know? Like I feel like the last, I don't know, this, you know, last minute and 30-ish seconds there. Like I think we got Wonka, dude.
People.
Right here, knee deep in the Wonka. I didn't even buckle up. I just right on the boat. Slippery or a sleepy company.
Things come rushing in, things come rushing out.
Are these gated reverbs, you think?
If you're in a dream,
Tasty bassline.
you're just a sleepy company, and that's alright. You're just a sleepy
Reminds me of the animals a bit. Maybe the zombies.
that's alright.
Oh, never mind. You hear the wow 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 sounds? Definitely right here. I can't speak for whether or not they are Atari noises because that predates my experience, admittedly. it does give me a little bit of like a Gogol Bordello bit of a kind of a vibe, but obviously this predates that to the best of my knowledge. Harmonic minor based progression equals Gogol Bordello. Tim, I think you're helping me. You're helping take Walter colloquialism and translating it into music theory for me. Thank you for doing that. I think you've watched the channel enough now to see me say consistent things, and in your brain you're like, oh, when Walter says Gogol Bordello, he means harmonic minor based progression. Oh, and then he writes that in his Rolodex of things I say and cracks codes. Tim, I think you're fantastic for that. Thank you. You're literally helping me learn.
You're just a sleepy company, and that's alright.
Not a bad idea. I approve that. Whoa, we're descending into 8-bit. This sounds like my jar of Play CD in high school. Like the actual one. I love that. I want to go back on that ride again. This is just such a glitch, decayed thing. And then right back. Seamless. Ah. That was really, really, really good. Best song on the album. For sure. I mean, I know that the 3 songs leading up to this one were also really good and hard to contend with, but this just had a little bit more meat to the potatoes. Oops, all seams. And that's why it was great. Something about them making my brain itch is... I was born for this thing, wasn't I? This is interesting because this is hitting me in a unique place where if I would have found this when I was listening to Neutral Milk behind my parents' back in high school, I wouldn't have liked it because at that time in my life, it would have been too avant-garde for me, right? Like, I wouldn't have necessarily been able to get behind the sound collage stuff. And interestingly enough, I would see Ween as kind of my gateway drug into approaching brown, kind of like wonky, what the heck just happened and why is my brain itching sounds. Like, The Residents scared me away from it, but I think over time I've come to appreciate that their weird rubbed off on music in a really cool way. And I'm very happy that the world has The Residents because I think some of the inspiration of The Residents really rubbed off on music that I love in really cool ways and less abrasive ways than perhaps The Residents presented. But what I'm getting at is it feels like this is a tremendous overlap of the brown of Ween and you know, the residents at some points. Kind of reminds me of Fiery Furnaces a little bit, at least in maybe a contemporary context. My wife is a friggin' Betty, and I think that the combination of melting pot that this represents is something that I can certainly see I would not have liked years ago. But because of the journey I've gone on, and you know, the ability to kind of connect dots along the way, like I've listened to Smile now, or at least Brian Wilson presents Smile. Like we've listened to Pet Sounds. Like I have at least some sort of language and understanding to the concept of Beach Boys now, besides just the hits and like Kokomo, you know. So it is really cool to see what like some dudes that were maybe like, you know, inspired by a lot of the same things I've grown to be inspired by make this project, and then they go into making other stuff that I like, but or were involved with and liked. Yeah, it is a good song, but I don't think Kokomo is a song representative of the Beach Boys catalog, and to say so, I think, is maybe not fair to the Beach Boys. Anyways, Grass Cannons, here we go. And Lava Caffeine, welcome to the Rooskies, homie. Rooskies, make our new friend feel at home. Kind of getting lost in the drums here. I'd like you to pay attention to them because, you know, sometimes you hear me talk about drum panning and stuff, and I don't know that, and not to, because I still have people say, like, I don't know how you hear music like that. And I think some of it is headphones and versus like watching it on a TV or through like a speaker, like a sound bar or something. But do pay attention to the stereo panning on the drums here because it's special. And happy flippin' birthday to ya, Judo. Brewskis, HB Dub, that guy. Kind of brings me a little bit to Jefferson Airplane in some parts. The bass is really one of my favorite parts of this track. Even the little bells there in the right ear. Is it a theremin? In the right ear there, going through... Or no, theremin in the left ear there. No, it's in the right. But it's getting bit crushed maybe? Or compressed? This feels Gorillaz-y. Hearing this bass line is making me remember I bought a bass and it's going to be here Friday. I'm excited. Let's go. Getting a little polymeter here. And they're going through your brain? Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Sorry. Sounds like triplets over straight eights. Could be. I didn't think we were gonna get this sound texture. Oh, no. I really like this sound a lot. That drum... This drum part was so gratuitous and almost to the point of being out of place, like putting in a drum fill, like with a button on a machine that doesn't necessarily make sense for the part of the song and feels really rushed, but for whatever reason it works. And I loved it because he really played that. It was such a... This is tremendous. I keep hearing ones where I'm like, you know, this one might be my favorite. It's pretty good. I don't mean for that to be the case. Like, we just keep coming up on ones, and maybe there's a little bit of weirdness you go through, and you end up getting to where you want to be on it. It's funny because I feel like this is going to be an album that's going to benefit tremendously from a listen straight through without you guys. Much as I love you. But I do see that I can see where this one would like latch me, but I can also like I feel like maybe the weird abrasive parts hit me a little differently in the fact that for content purposes I kind of end up having to stop the flow, but I get to share it with good people so it balances out. I would agree. I'm hearing a whole bunch of different things combined together, which leads me to indicate, well, if it sounds like so many different things, it's original. I can pull out small sounds because there's a billion of them and say it sounds like X, Y, or Z. But that's what a sound collage is. W for husbandry out there, Derelict Andrew. Good job. Oh, this is super nice. The drums here are so tasty. I do think that the drums are like kind of right now MVP of the album for me, and I think a lot of it is because it's the fill. Like he's not just he's not just phoning it in, right? Like he has such a crazy amount of swing to him. He's a jazz drummer with like a prog attitude, with an indie rock band and a sound collage like going all over the place. That they stereo pan the drums as clean and well as they do is awesome. And honestly, the compressed drum sound is really, really something that has always been kind of appealing to me because of so much of my formative, music taste. I'm fascinated with the album. I'm thrilled with it. I have so many questions about how they recorded it. Like, there are so many different things I'm hearing, and I'm like, how is this going? Hey, I love you, lady. And that A New Day was tremendous. Combinations. See, these are the moments where I feel like we're getting Willy Wonka, like going through a tunnel from one thing to another. That noise was yucky. I didn't like it. Like, this feels like a digital bug. Like a digital grasshopper cicada thing. When I say Willy Wonka in this context, I most specifically mean, like, it feels like we are being participants on the Willy Wonka Yacht Club scene. Wow. Clarky. That beautiful beast. There's no knowing where we're going. Okay. Well, guys, on that one, I have to run an ad. It looks like we've made it through 12 songs on this one. To be fair, some of the songs are 4 seconds and 14 seconds and 5 seconds. So yeah, I will be pissed if YouTube comes at me saying like, hey, you listened to 27 of our songs, you piece of crap. Pay us. Because I'm not going to be happy about that. I'm not going to pay them. I'm going to file due process, but I'm not going to be happy about it. But anyways, hopefully this just doesn't combine to 27 paragraphs, Anyways, if it does, it's for the love of the game. That's what we do this for. Guys, be right back. And we are back, guys. Hopping back into this kind of brain scratcher of an album, seemingly both awesome and next one, I have been floated. LaCroix's out, boys. You'll be good.
It should learn to speak before it melts away. It would express that each have words no one else will say. I have been floated to the spotless hour.
This is amazing! Reminds me of Star Trek, the original series, with the theremin part in the left ear. This does give me like a Neutral Milk Hotel vibe with kind of like the theremin instead of a singing saw kind of vibe. The moment Jeff's voice comes in has so much aura. There is a tremendous amount of when the song started, admittedly, your boy wasn't crazy about it. But when we got into this part that's like Elliott Smith went to the beach, and took an LSD, I'm about it. And yeah, W's for Cineset for the new poster, because it's fantastic. Ooh. Like you said, tasters are everywhere.
Spiritual's obedience, it is true, I swear. I have been floated to
This part.
this hour.
This
On a
part.
series of events I cannot explain.
It is.
Gather your wit, your will, your luck, your power. What it would have been. That
Yes.
will not remain.
Ah, beautiful. Talk about a left turn. Now we're in like an Appalachian funeral dirge.
If one place is turned away, let fashion be.
They really turn hard lefts here.
Being forced inside. I haven't learned to slow down.
Best song on the album, not even a question about it. And yo, Burper, welcome to the Rooskies. The amount of just chaotic atmospheric ambience that they get in this thing is so mind-blowing, because so much of it stands out without getting washed out, but then it's almost like there are so many clean, noticeable sounds that you get washed out trying to identify them all. If you're a person like me that's like, oh, what's happening in the left ear? Well, wait a minute, what just happened to the right ear? It's gone. Wait, what? It's so cool. And then like you get hit with like, wait a minute, the bass line, whoa, the drummer just, huh? The experience of this album has been that. And so earlier somebody said this has been an album full of tasters. I think that's been a really good way to put this. This has been an album full of tasters. And then the biggest taster of all of the album so far is Jeff friggin' Mangum coming in of Neutral Milk Hotel fame, if you didn't know the name. And in this part right here, like the acoustic kind of moment, just shines. Lordy jeez. What yeah, by far this was the best one. I Have Been Floated. That's one I'm gonna come back to immediately after this album. Yeah, you said aura. Lava Caffeine, you show up day one and you start saying good nuggets. I got nothing but good things to say about you already, friend. That's an interesting tone. Kind of reminds me of the Strokes a bit. But this going left to right here, Almost like it's Leslie speaker in your ears. Rewinding something? Is that a ring mod? Is that guitar part a ring mod? Is that what we're hearing? That... I think that's a ring mod. That lead is captivating, dude. And there's the bass line. Beach Boysy vibe? Never mind. This is fascinating. What?
We felt a pleasant gray rain hiding in the machine of the city, listening to bells and white beaches.
Oh, dude, this album was built for this stream. And then we're back to the fast thing. Yeah, dude, this album was built for this particular group of people. You know why I think that's the case? Because not every single thing I've heard has been to my taste, but it's all been fun and conversational, right? So it's got deep psychedelia like entwined in it, and for whatever reason, this seems to be a big old group of people that both do and do not, or have not used psychedelics, but are like very into psychedelic music and the concept behind the ethos of psychedelia. You have the indie rock component, which you know means so much to me, but also plenty of you. I think you end up with, you know, a lot of territory we have been exploring together recently. In you know, Beach Boys, Animal, you know, like the 60s era. This feels like, you know, something similar to the ethos that you're getting out of Ween, where they're kind of, you know, and Neutral Milk, which again, having the guy there doesn't hurt. But I think when you combine a lot of these things, you just get a melting pot of music that seems to have been kind of made for the Walterooski stream. You know, there's definitely a lot of avenues in there where, like, I'm scratching my head, but that's part of the fun of it. It's like, this is an album that's intended to be kind of listened to with homies and everybody to go like, whoa, what the heck was that? I'm about it.
Sideways went and fell into the bottom of the season. We curved around the statues, we saw horizons and different maps away from here. We touched
The transition into this floaty moment that kind of reminds me of Breathe in the Air by Pink Floyd.
we felt a pleasant gray rain hiding in the machines of the city, listening to bells and white beaches.
This is so tasty. Also, a little bit of shoegaze meets this, right? Like kind of feels like some sort of wall of tape loops meets like shoegaze, but maybe without some of the volume wash and maybe a little bit more of a sound collage vibe.
Paranormal echoes from unexplained heavens past.
Just, yeah, being from Georgia, Southern rock basically, same thing. section that they have utilized for atmosphere. Black Foliage Animation 3. Nice little bassy thing happening there. I can't get past the idea that this is designed in a way to make us feel like we're going from scene to scene. Like from one setting to another. Like I feel like I'm walking by an industrial thing right now. Ooh. This is nice. Oh! Cubism may have something to do with their lyrics, being what they are. Self-ref. Ooh, I like it. The hand drums panic. I'm inclined to wonder if maybe Ween heard this album or was familiar with their work, and if maybe it rubbed off a little bit on some of the work that you hear on maybe Quebec, something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm totally in the wrong, but seems like it's a contemporary sound to that. Like you don't hear it? Because I hear it. Chocolate Town. With like with more of a fast-paced thing. Less country, more psychedelic surf rock. Give me one moment. Okay, sorry about that. Had to take care of something for the Rooskies there. This should be squared away for you on the redemptions. Give it a shot. Black Foliage itself, parenthetical. Like, this feels white peppery.
When you pass the black foliage, imagine that eternity wrapped in silver sand.
The bass is kind of MVPing right now. This, with the horns especially, does remind me a bit of In the Aeroplane Over the Sea. I'm glad. It's kind of nice to know that they were contemporary to the point of working together. I definitely appreciate that. You know, when I say it's reminiscent of, I mean just that. Like, in like the briefest whiff. Like, this is such a far removal from Aeroplane, but it's definitely a ride. I love this. Do you think it's a melodica or an actual accordion? I was sitting here wondering that same thing. That bum, 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 bum. It does. It definitely gives me. Kind of brings me to a Sgt. Pepper's vibe a little bit with the way the vocals are edited and layered. You know, it feels like it's a little bit fartier and browner than that, though. Maybe a little bit more Leslie speakery modulated. Not that they used a Leslie speaker, but I'm just saying modulated to the point to where it sounds like the voice is spun a little bit. Accordion on 17, 18, 21. Good nugget, Fishball. Also, I think I've got it fixed now to where there's no more limits on the redeems. This is the Sylvan screen. They kind of have like a sense of the sound folly to where it does feel like there is I don't know, a sense of like noise intentionally made to make it seem as though your ears are moving past things. Like, this is totally building some sense of tension. There's lyrics on this one, thank you. I can't decide if I think we're walking on like a porch or outside, like on a wooden floor with a windy day with the door, like a screen door creaking or something. What's your read on this? What's up, Toby Geary? Yo, Rooskies, make our friend Toby Geary feel at home. Welcome, Raiders, Rooskies. Toby is the best. He's got the best record collection of vinyl I have ever seen. Give him some love. What's up, my brother? The banjo in here. The theremin. What's up, Toby? This one reminds me of the Decemberists a bit. In the best way. It does again remind maybe a bit of Holland 1945. But in kind of different ways. Like, it's interesting because the overlap of sound textures with certain bands is pretty significant, while still distinctly maintaining their own portion of chunk of circle in a pretty significant way. But there's just something about this combination of like rooted music with foundation and structure, with the swaying, kind of maneuverability and breathability of psychedelic kind of jam progressions, going from wild time signature switches, utilize like the noise rock, kind of meet shoegaze component. There is a lot happening there in the midst of it. And again, Toby, dude, thank you for sending over you and yours. Rooskies, make sure all of our new friends feel at home. Feel free to stick around. We're knocking down this album by the Olivia Tremor Control, and so far it's been a wild ride. And this is the only song that sounds like it on the album. That fuzzed out tone there. I feel like the Black Keys heard this album and come up with an idea much later. And it's not Elliott Smith, believe it or not. Definitely from that time period of music, I myself have said that it sounded like some of the songs felt like at least one song felt like Elliott Smith went to the beach and like made Beach Boys music, taking an LSD. Like, so I made that very comparison in this very video. So I definitely hear the Elliott Smith thing for sure. I like that. The little clap tracks. These theremin moments have been so interesting. Here is the avant-garde we were discussing. And we're back. Sergeant Peppery, the White Album meets White Peppery by Ween. Like, there's definitely like a lot of different components that this gets out of hand. I don't know. Revolver, I don't know. Maybe. Okay. I'll give it to you. Again, bringing us to folly with bird noises. Guys, what do we do with the birds? We consider the birds. And did you know you can buy a t-shirt that says consider the birds, like just literally right below, or if you're watching on YouTube a little bit later in the video description, or just right down there, do it. Consider the birds. Recognize how valuable you are. Please. It's important. It's like Mamas and Papas meets Vanilla Fudge meets the Monkees. What? You know, Toby, you say that, and then we get a little bit of a Beach Boys taster right after that. So, I'm not sure we need to do this next song. Fishbulb, I would like to know what informs your decision on that, because, my friend, you do know that I don't skip songs if they're on the album proper. Even if that song is gonna suck huge dirty dicks, I don't do it. I still listen to the song. So is this a matter of it not being on the album proper, or that it sucks dirty dicks and you don't want me, play the full LP? Yeah, see, exactly. The only time I would skip it is if it's like somehow like a remaster gets like some random version of a song and that doesn't necessarily belong there, and my goal is to, you know, hear the album proper. I want to know what a dude heard when they bought it. No, it's there, just long, and, well, I've heard all I need to hear, my friend. The Bark and Below It. Exactly. Yo, we listened to Trout Mask Replica on this stream together, okay? We listened to Duck Stab by The Residents on this stream together. You know? This is day one stuff, dude. We listened to Cheech Marin, I Am Cheech Marin, the school bus driver, on this stream, okay? I am stacked and built for this kind of thing. We did Disco Volante. I have gone on some journeys on this stream here, and the album has so far not disappointed. This has already been a little bit of a warbly soundscape, though. I feel like we're swimming through white noise. I feel like I'm in the first Star Trek movie about to meet V'ger. Okay. Please Please tell me I'm not the only one that that hears V'ger communication. Why do I feel like I'm about to get hit with the Jack in the Box moment? Oh, thank God. That was so much less abrasive than I'd feared. Okay. I think Disco Volante has burned me to think that music at any given point can just jump out and scare me and make me feel like I might have peed myself if I had to pee just a little bit more than I did at that moment in time. And there's always a little bit of me that's worried that, like, one day you guys are going to be like, Walter, weren't you just wearing blue shorts? Why are you, why are you wearing sweatpants, man? You know, and I feel like only the people that are really in the know are going to know that it's because I, like, tinkled because of a Jack in the Box moment that music threw at me, you know, on the levels of Disco Volante or something. But, you know, that's where we're at. Am I gonna get jump scared? This is definitely goopy digital sound recorded with analog stuff. You can't promise no jump scares, but you don't think so. I'll take that as a maybe. A derelict Andrew, I think you should see a doctor, but that's not normal. That's not good. You should take care of your health. If your stomach sounds like this, it sounds like you might have the Industrial Revolution beginning inside of there, and I think you should have that checked out. But tell me that this isn't the kind of band that would write about some stuff like the Industrial Revolution going on in your stomach, right? Like, it seems like that'd be an abstract enough lyrical nugget to throw into a song like this, and you would be like, I get it. Okay. So this is the Olivia Tremor controls the fucked jam, huh? Right? More there, the bends. Okay. Okay. More there, morning glory. Okay. I like that headline, Blossom. I feel like my memories are getting erased in Dr. Mearswax and in Mearswiak and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. This is just 60s Zappa? Really? I think that this is not that. Maybe I haven't heard enough 60s Zappa. I have the itchiest nose and allergies, and it's driving me crazy. Okay. You get picked up by an Uber. This song is the song playing in the Uber. What goes through your mind? Just curious about it because I saw the word Uber. Elephant Six Legends. Yo, photerist. Photoeterist. Forgive me. Phototerist. Man, I'm so bad with names sometimes and just a big old dingleberry in general. But welcome to the Rooskies, homie. Rooskies, make our new friend feel at home. You kiss the driver. I'm guessing that this is the bulk of the song, huh? Okay. Hey, you did warn me, but again, the big thing about it, the long and the short of it, my beloved here, is that I listen to full albums. We do that together. It's what we do. You've been here so many times. You know, like, you got an album listened to on the pod. It was a big album. We listened to albums together. Not we skip some because it's got a weirdo. No. I'm here for the stinkers too. And this isn't that. This is just an 11-minute, 23-second version of the Fucked Jam by Ween that came out a couple of years earlier and is making my brain itch a little bit. We all need to scratch our brain. Fishbowl, honey, honey, look, sweetie pie, it only drags the stream down if I or you let it. And thus far, you got people in the stream saying, hey, dope song, bro. And other people saying like, hey, not a skip. I tell you, buddy, you want to talk about worse ways? I've spent 11 minutes and 23 seconds of my life. I could astound you. Astound you. Listening to this for 11 minutes and 23 seconds versus other things I have done in my life that took 11 minutes and 23 seconds of time, I would take this at least 5/2. At least. See, this is why I feel like the music's gonna scare me. You can't win them all, man. The journey's the journey. Also, in fairness, when you do get rated by a big stream like that, experience suggests that a lot of those people from big raids are AFK that will just kind of diminish off as like they open up their computer, do something else, you know, things like that. So typically I don't take that kind of thing personally because honestly, that's very typical for a large raid scenario. So yeah, if you're a Twitch streamer and you're just getting into it and you've never had a big raid and somebody big raids you, don't take it personally. If you even make a couple of friends and they stick around, you did a good job with the raid. See, I think that the avant-garde stuff is I've described it before like a train wreck that you can't take your eyes away from. But in the context of music, it's a lot like that businesses are all going to get paid the insurance money. Literally nobody dies, and basically all that happened was everybody got to watch a train wreck, right? Like, we're cool with it. So I think that the avant-garde thing is one of those appealing things wherein I'm not going to just sit around and watch train wrecks all day. There's dudes out there that want to sit and watch train wrecks all day, and that's cool, right? I'm not about it, but I tell you, sometimes I just want a train wreck. And I tell you, even further than that, now that I've watched quite a few train wrecks, spaced out over the course of time, I digest avant-garde on my own pace or the pace of organic development of the channel. But now that I've got kind of a foundation for it, I'll tell you, I listened to the album Duck Stab, and I said to myself, Walter, I says, right into a mirror, you're never going to listen to The Residents again. That is just too weird for you. Do you know how many times I have gone back to Duck Stab to the point that, like, it's a reference point of the channel? It has become a frame of reference for the way I interpret music, right? It's one of the weirdest friggin' albums I ever heard. I don't like it, but I respect the heck out of it because I recognize how significant it was. And you know what? Sometimes I just have to look at my life and say, here I come, Constantinople, and I go and listen to Duck Stab. And it's not something I ever thought was going to be like something that rubs off. But I think that that is very characteristic of the experience of avant-garde fanhood. Okay? And it's not something... It's kind of one of those closeted things in my life, I guess, where it's like, I know exactly what it is to ask somebody to sit down and listen to Duck Stab. I know what kind of task that could be to ask to a normie, They're not going to know what to do with it, right? Like, you start doing that, and they're going to start talking like the earth is flat. Like, it's just not going to register. And you can't hold that against them because you heard Duck Stab for the first time at some point. You might act like you're deeper than you really are by saying, like, I was immediately fascinated with how genius it is. But if you're saying that, like, I don't believe you. I think it grew on you in the same way it grew on me. I think it was designed to be a weird shower, or a weird grower, not a shower. Sure, to some people it was a shower, but I think because of my experience with that album, which I dislike, it made me recognize things in other albums that I did like that came very specifically from something like, but not necessarily maybe that. And I think it broadened my musical vocabulary and, truly enough, helped me acquire a taste for another set of sound textures. So I didn't mean for this listen of the Olivia Tremor Control to become a full circle moment that brings us back to me listening to Duck Stab, but I will say, and I think the listeners of Avant-Garde would agree with me, that if you give it an earnest chance and you don't nose up to it and you let the weird just run all over you, like, you let it do its thing, don't judge it, just let it happen. Let your brain itch. Maybe, heck, don't even bother trying to scratch it. Just let it go. It's okay that it's weird. Some things are weird, right? It's fine. It's not going to hurt you. You might just feel a little weird. And then I tell you, I think maybe neurons in your brain connect or something that are good for neuroplasticity to the point that you walk away a bigger person. I'm just giving you my own life experience, but here we are. I think all of Avant-Garde has an element of that. I can't decide how they recorded some of the sounds we're getting on this album. Like some of the jangly, creakily, like creaky, shaky sounds. Like stomping on floor stuff. Marimba. What a tension and release moment. Oh my gosh. I don't know that the entire song was worth that moment, but I tell you, I wouldn't have gotten that moment to decide for myself had I not listened to it. Don't go taking away 11-minute chunks of an album. That would have been almost us not listening to like 20% of the album, because this is gonna be a little weird. And I just think that this is the place where we listen to our weird stuff together, and we're like, dude, that is weird, and it's okay. And we're like, yeah, I know, isn't it great? And that's like what sums us up. I'm so cool with that. I'm so cool to listen to a weird stinker if it means one of us is like, no, that hit me well. I like that. And to me, this wasn't even a stinker. I tell you, I've listened to some stinker instrumentals that took too much time. This wasn't one. This was just a nice little transition of good conversation pace in the basement with your homies. And occasionally you get stuck on a long side quest diatribe talking about how the residents changed your view of music even if you hated it. Black Foliage Animation 4. This sounds like a pop, record that you might hear like a sample out of. Ooh. Oh. This is so nice. Babies, this noise, this lead. Ah. The goopiness that wasn't guitar, that's just humming. I really like that. Apparently, I'm getting about to be yeeted by an ad, but then I imagine when I come back, we should be able to close this bizzle down, if not getting pretty close to it. It is actually quite the undertaking to sit and listen to 1 hour and 9 minutes when forced to do commentary in the midst, but do give me a few. Be right back. Okay, should be back getting into California Demise 3. Got cold in my place. I love this one already. I feel bad that I feel like I'm saying I like the less avant-garde ones as like my favorite standout songs, but here we are. are actually that good. Fair enough. Like, listen to the lead. Like, that's such a tasteful lead. This part kind of reminds me a little bit of like Sufjan Stevens. Like All Delighted People. This jam out moment. And then back into the swingy part. Hear that? Yeah. I love it. And the fuzzy tone there. How many times, I mean, so look, you guys have heard me throughout the journey. If you've been here for a while, you hear me like listen for tape cuts when we listen to old records together because it's one of my favorite things to identify the splice. And I think all of us, I don't know, maybe I'm projecting my excitement for the moment onto you guys. But I think that each of us, like whenever there's moments like that, like those little, they really do serve as tasters to me. Like, it's character to a record, you know what I mean? It's the equivalent of seeing a dude's gnarly scar and feeling like it kind of just looks good on him. It's like it's a it's a bad tattoo with the story with that's like a great story. There's something so nice to me about it. And I think if you've listened to records with me for any amount of time, you've heard me call out moments like it, and I love it. Maybe that was one of the top ones for me. Looking for Quiet Seeds. The lead vocal effect is Gargled Water. As one does. Sure. So that's Gargled Water being panned. This is some of the goofiest textures ever. Like, it does feel to me like The Residency. it feels like Resonance, but if they had like more of a like digital like glitch technology vibe to them. Some of this like drone I think it's like intentionally keeping you uncomfortable with this kind of like dirge march thing. But I think there's almost an intentional confusion to it. Like, it kind of feels like this is what the confusing thoughts that you're having when you're coming up a little bit too fast on LSD sound like. I guess if you know, you know. Combinations. Look at that song just flying by, and me being a cowboy and not pausing for commentary. Mystery. This one also brings me to maybe Two-Headed Boy. Not anymore. Ooh. The shifting time signatures. Drop it? Okay. I'd be so interested in knowing how this writing process went. You know, when I think about how they would have put this arrangement together and these sound textures together, it really makes me wonder how they went about doing it. Because they swing so many different ways, you know, in time signatures especially. And when they played it live, I'm also interested in how they did that. Because this album is certainly not beholden to like a metronome by any stretch of the imagination. But I think that there's a beauty to the breathe, you know, the breathability of the music. On various 4 and 8-track machines at home from 95 to 98 with Robert Schneider mixing and overdubbing on some tracks for 2 weeks in the spring of 98. Okay.
Come smother us again like a moon in the wet grass at night. You'll fall like an airplane.
Okay. I was just about to say the landing stuck with those lyrics there. I think Cone, this is maybe scratching the avant-garde love that you have in a way that Neutral Milk might not. I think Neutral Milk is the folk version of this. They are avant-garde. Let's not mistake it. I'm just saying it's a different level. Wop, 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 wop. So, another set of bees in the museum. What a weird tone. Or is that an accordion, like, being put through, like, a bass filter? I feel like I can definitely taste the waste. Yeah. I'm hearing it too. Like, an interesting combination between, like, Neutral Milk and My Bloody Valentine and, like, Pavement, and yet, again, somehow very distinctly themselves. And Ween. Ooh. Da-da-dun-dun. How can we liberate the world of sound? Definitely has like a kind of an iced out rewound sound. Some of the songs have a bit too many sounds that I'm stuck following for me to feel like they have a fair shake, to where, like, if I'm gonna like them, it's gonna be because they were throwers. Sometimes everything sticks out to me. Black Foliage Animation 5. Dang. Guys, there's 2 songs left to go on this album. You gotta let me know, how is it hitting you? Are you loving it? And is it gonna stick the landing? Let me know for the first timers. And for those of you revisiting the album with me, let me know. How's it hitting you? Loving this piano walk. This is a really really, really nice. And again, the transition of scenes. This part, for whatever reason, is reminding me of The Passenger Seat by Death Cab for Cutie, the song. Sorry. If you know, you know. Okay, this is the last song. Will it stick the landing? Hilltop percussion, momentum gaining. Didn't see it going this way. We just ended up at a campfire.
Step lightly into my daydream, early yawning.
I think that this is the best way they could have ended this goofy friggin' album.
Just be boring.
Is a smile. Yeah, you get just a madhouse of chaos and twists and turns, and then you get this. This is tasty. This sticks the landing. There are no explanations to see the things you see in your mystery, so don't look to me to validate your dreams. Wow. Wow. That has so many meanings to it as well. Man, I think this is a this is a really good one. Okay, so Thrill Jockey. I think you made an interesting point here. There really is a great 35-minute pop album here. And I don't think that's, and I think that's what really confuses many who try to penetrate this record. You know, I think that your point very perfectly articulates Fishbulb's worry earlier for, and kind of just insistence that, hey, you can just skip this song. Because you're afraid that it's going to ruin the sum of the grand parts of the album because it isn't like normie fodder. I get it. But I think that those things in particular make projects like this unique and stand out, do they all stick their landing? Honey, no. Are some of them like perfect because of what they set you up for? Maybe a song later, maybe 2 songs later? Like, yeah. I think that people don't necessarily give the interconnected nature of an album enough credit. They hear songs and they think, "Oh, I like that album. It has this song on it." But I don't think that they necessarily listen to albums and consider all of the work as one piece of art so much as a whole bunch of individual pieces of art underneath a label. Label in this case being the name of the record, not the label in the context of like the music business. I'm just saying like label in a context of like it could say like, anything labeled is the context I'm referring to it. But I do think when you get something in this, yeah, I lost my train of thought because I hit the play button on the music again. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Really bummed I did that. I love that part. The pop, yeah, back to that. So the 35-minute pop song, right? Yes, it does have that. But I think part of my enjoyment of this album was going through the journey of the weird songs to get to the pop songs because it makes them hit harder. I've described it in other contexts like watching a movie. When you have a favorite movie, you still watch the bad, scary scenes when the villain seems to be winning, like the conflict scenes, right? Like you don't just skip to the end after, making sure you caught the gratuitous sex scene in the middle of the movie. Like you don't just do that typically. You typically watch the movie for all of the scenes in the movie. And I feel the same about albums typically. Like there's especially, yeah, there are moments where I'm not committing to watching a movie and I just want to hear a song. But a lot of times, and more often than not in my life and experience, I consume albums now. It's just my preferred method of listening to music. So, because there's something to me in my brain that says like, you know what? I'm going to listen to Physical Graffiti start to finish. And yeah, I could just go straight to the song In the Light, but there's something about arriving at the song In the Light that there's something about like a delayed gratification, knowing like it's coming. It's coming. There's something to that. It's almost like you have something to look forward to in the album. And I think that this one really lends itself to that. Maybe that was a long roundabout answer to get there, but last song of the album, it feels relevant enough to say it now.
I woke up
Out of the
underwater.
ground were tall buildings.
Like, why? But it's things like this, I get it. I went to an art display one time, and I can't remember what the painting was for the life of me, but it's one of the very, very, very few moments in my life where I saw a picture that actually moved me to emotions. Like somebody painted this giant thing, and I'm saying this painting was so big. Like I remember thinking it might be like a 30 by 20 foot canvas or something like that. It was so big. And it was just kind of a big rectangle. I don't know another way to put it, but it was just a big kind of rectangle. For all intents and purposes, that's what it was, right? But standing below this thing, I'm so taken with it. And it hits me like a ton of bricks. No, it wasn't that. I don't, wait, hang on. It wasn't that. Hang on. I want to double check. Maybe it was. But I don't think that's what it was I saw. I think it was something like, but not necessarily that. Okay. So it was, come on. It was something like this, but it was not this. Just so we're clear. Okay. Um, imagine something that was like more along the size of the thing that is behind the white wall behind it. And that was about it. And again, it I don't know. I've never really, I can't tell you what it was other than that it just kind of stirred some heavy stuff in me. Like I don't even think it like necessarily made me think of any particular thing so much as just feel like moved. I don't know. Not in the way music does, because there weren't words to it, right? It was just the experience that moved me. And I've had a couple of moments like that through my life, but not too many. And I feel like in these kinds of situations, you when you kind of allow yourself to be taken by something, there's something kind of special there. I guess the big giant rectangle that kind of hit me. In this feel a little similar. I'm not saying I had the big giant rectangle experience here, but I can understand looking at something and not knowing what to make of it, but it's still moving you. I think skipping songs when listening to albums is dumb. Not only are you disregarding the intended experience, but you are robbing yourself of the opportunity for those songs to grow on you. And many of my favorite albums, yeah, I think that's exactly it. And honestly, let's be real. Not everybody cares to acquire a taste for music, and it's not everybody's thing. Like not everybody wants to like it, and not everybody wants to branch out. And that's not wrong of people. Like people are entitled to like or dislike or involve themselves as much or as little as they want to in the realms of music. The Big Giant Rectangle Experience sounds like a hell of a psychedelic band name. It actually kind of, I like where your heart's at there, Clume. I think you're right. I just meant for the stream. It already is a long album. No, but here's the thing, Fishbulb. You put in for Long Album Pie, you're getting the Long Album Pie. And besides the point, I do think that taking in the entirety of the experience, even if it wasn't something I necessarily understood every step of the way, was a beneficial experience. And very much in my brain kind of needed that 11-minute break of long that whenever it was. I don't know. I think because maybe you guys have looked at enough big musical rectangles with me, you know what it is to find that unexpected nugget of wow. You know what it is to see a work for more than the sum of its best song or best couple of songs. You know what it is to experience the journey top to bottom and talk about it. And sometimes it's the entire journey that brings you back to do it again and revisit those songs because you were like, wow, that whole thing was great. Like, imagine if you only heard Money on Dark Side of the Moon, and then imagine listening to the album Dark Side of the Moon. Both are great, but one is a tremendously different use case and could argue better entirely. But yeah, guys, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for the positivity that you show both to me and to one another. Continue to be the best. And until I see you next, be introspective and consider the birds. Goodbye.